scheduled start of 3 o'clock local time, which will mean that it will be 22 overs per side. Yes, it's going to be intriguing to say the least to see what does transpire.
Starting with spin as well.
So Aneshu Mashangwi, as we mentioned, the Zimbabwean, into the attack and right on the money straight away as it's chipped away there from Wilson into the gap backward a square leg. Bit of hesitation between the two batters, and they're just happy.
Seeing what the pitch is doing as well.
Full delivery there from Mashangwi, and again knocked away onto the onside. And 1-off-1. Punching and driving. She takes on the field. There's a shy at the non-striker's end. It was
really get her away.
Full-blooded drive out through the offside. That'll be 4.
Spoke too
First
soon.
boundary of the afternoon. And for the small Sky down the ground. Fielder coming around underneath it and takes the catch. Takes just one ball for Amanda Jade Wellington to put her imprint on this match. And genuine edge as she goes back and gets enough on it as it creeps its way to the boundary. Keeps the South Australians interested all the way down to the third man rope for 4. So valuable runs. Bridget Patterson.
This time into Adams, who drives hard over the top of mid-on and gets maximum value. So the first 6 of the day goes to Georgia Adams.
That was a beautiful shot. Just picked it up.
Adams this time across the line and will beat the fielder. 2 boundaries for the over. Adams, exactly what New South Wales needs, gets them to 45. Which he does here, but Wilson drives, and that was pure. Beats that short cover. Coming round is the deep point, and they might come back for 3. They think about it. Adams drives, nearly hits her opposite number. Wilson had to duck for cover. It careered past her, went for 4, and then up. Maddie Penner into the attack. Wilson across the line. She pulled that from outside off. It's gone in between the 2 fielders, and they've both looked at each other. Wilson goes through the offside and just over the top of cover. Beats the 2 outfielders, and collects a boundary. And New South Wales are into the 70s.
Oh, that's just good cricket all round. Really great effort there.
Here she's conceded 17. Oh, and nearly gets a catch to backward point, but instead it's another boundary. So 21 off her 1.3 overs. New South Wales 1 for 75. Hey, good. Down the ground, there's a long on who just comes around and gets doozied by the spin. That is unlucky. It pitched, bounced to her left, and Adams gets a boundary.
And she goes aerial. Mashangwi straight in front of it. And Adams will be disappointed with that. She'd been going the aerial route and had quite a fair bit of success, but gifts a wicket to the South Australians on 34. Burns, little paddle sweep around the corner. She gets it very fine. She's got plenty on it, and she's got herself a boundary as well. Valiant dive coming in from Emma DeBro, but she couldn't. Full toss, swept backward a square leg for 4. That was a poor ball from Penner, was begging to be hit. And Wilson duly obliged. A very talented lower order batter as well. So they've got some options. Reverse sweep from Erin Burns. That's a glorious shot down to the boundary for 4. Hunter was already up off the previous ball. And that's just rubbing salt into the wound. Never a regulation mid-wicket as well. Chipped in the air. Mashangwi, goes in and comes out. Should have been taken.
Last ball, the 18th, sees a wicket. And just when Burns was starting to take off, she is back in the pavilion. Wilson gets a fuller delivery, drives, beats wideish cover, and that'll be 50 for Talia Wilson, who is anchoring this New South Wales innings. Her second 50 of the WNCL season. Wilson down the ground, it's high, long on comes around, Penner comes in, and second grab takes the catch. Hand on her mouth, can't believe it, it popped up after the original juggle. Leroy on strike. Down the ground, it might beat long on, and it does. A good finish for the New South Wales team. Leroy hits a 4 to finish, 22 overs done, 4 for 1, 4-2. Drops it, runs, takes off, and she's off the mark. There you go, a single. And the score. It's a really wide one, and dropped. Wilson stuck the right hand out. Those ones just have to hit glue. Unfortunately, the edge of the glove, it went down. Dubrow off the hips, gets good contact. That'll be the first boundary of the Scorpions innings. And Dubrow, Patterson down the wicket and just gets it wide of square leg, who was in a catching position, but picks up 4 runs. A good over for the Scorpions so far.
And that's all it takes, just one good over to swing.
That is short, and mid-wicket takes an easy catch. The first wicket goes down for South Australia. It is Darlington who picks up Patterson. Ball.
Yeah, there's so much.
That's short and outside off stump, just beats short cover. Leroy threw her right arm at it, couldn't pick it up, but has made great ground to reel in the boundary. Short and wide again, and Dubrow tried to lift that over the slips. And she get the angle right here, Campbell. It's Fuller. Great shot. Creamed from Dubrow. 4 over cover. And her second boundary is an exciting one. Even the bowlers will admit that was good to see.
Yeah, that was just in her wheelhouse.
Now she's driving away, backward a point. Going to be pulled back just inside the boundary, but it's another double here for Dubrow. Aaron Burns not back and cutting away, cutting nicely. Uses the pace there of Coit just to knock it backward a point. I'm not going to go that far and say that, Mez. This is a beautiful shot, clipped off the toes. A good effort on the boundary. I think it might have been Annika Leroy out there, but she couldn't reel it in. And they need a bit more of that. Emma Dubrow launched over the top, not out of the middle, but gets a fair chunk of it there. Does Dubrow? They think about a second. The throw comes in from Leroy. A bit of pressure on. This one's hit straight down the ground. Coming around is Darlington. Takes the easiest of catches. So the resistance from Emma Dubrow eventually comes to an end as she's dismissed for 32 from 36. A bit of a forlorn figure.
Edge, and Darlington extracts it. No slip in place. It would have gone to probably third slip. So no real chance there. But down leg side off the pads, that's going to be another 4. That was just a stray delivery from Darlington.
From South Australia.
Slashes outside off stump, caught at backward point. Hawley takes a pretty simple one, and Allen has her first wicket of the afternoon. If they were stalling before, it's almost life support at the moment for South Australia. They're 3 for 73 in the 15th over. Her third over, she's got 1 for 8. It's Fullen on the stumps, down the ground, so there. We're off and running. The first 4 of this over. Does that break the shackles to lose at the moment? That with a bit more power. Will it beat Burns? Moore's running across as well, and they have their second boundary of the over. So they've targeted that area that you talked about, Rachel, through square leg.
Get out of this over successfully. And Amanda J, that's a good shot. Chipped into the gap and a much-needed boundary for the South Australians. Smart cricket again from Amanda Jade Wellington. We see it so. Ball lofted down the ground. That's a better shot. Plenty of purchase on that one. A couple of bounces over the rope for 4, and it gives South Australia just a little bit of life.
Yeah.
And she hammers this one down the ground. That could be 4 more. It is. Back-to-back boundaries for Amanda Jade Wellington. And all of a sudden, there's a real heartbeat. This ball lofted in the air, going down the throat of Darlington, who puts it down. How costly could that be? This ball crunched. Darlington gets a second go at it. She doesn't drop this one. Coit gets the breakthrough. Damage. In comes Sammy Joe. Oh, she's bowled. It went for the reverse sweep. It wasn't going to happen, but you don't besmirch Sharon Barsby for trying something. All up late. This ball sky down. It's going to go for 6. She gets onto that one. Does Josie Dooley. The first ball she played came right into the meat of the bat, as did that one.
Many boundary riders.
This ball's hammered. That's going to go all the way for 6 off the first ball. Maddie Penner brings up her 50 as well. And what a way to do it. Her first 6. Hammered out through the offside. Finds the gap. There's Penner. as it creeps its way out towards the point boundary and almost led to a boundary, and they'll just settle for 2. So South Australia will finish their innings checked at 5 for 135. Penner played a nice innings of 57 not out from 52.